This is Jonathan Aguilar, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Gareth A Davies. Gareth, it's been a while since we've done one of these. I have seen you at a lot of events, though. It's been crazy the last few weeks, but
You've blanked me more than the Fishers.
not true at all. We've spoken it just not on camera. But how have you been? It's been busy, right?
Very good, thank you. Very a lot of thought processes and investigating and speaking to people behind the scenes. Certainly in the last about a week, really, um, since the TKO Dana White and Turkey Al Sheikh um, not press conference, but a video announcements, if you like, interviewed by Ring Magazine, wasn't he? And they
Yeah.
they declared that they're going to make boxing great again. They're going to make individual champions in potentially 8 weight divisions. So it's all fascinating. How they go about it and do it is going to be really intriguing. What happens to the promoters and the sanctioning bodies who are already invested in the sport will be interesting as well. I don't see. I see a lot of moves being made, but I don't see the world of boxing changing for a very long time. There were 50 plus events Friday, Saturday, Sunday around the world. So boxing will carry on. But what happens at that very elite level is going to be fascinating as to how it rolls out. That was the biggest news of the week, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And we both spoke to Eddie Hearn uh, at the press conference on Friday, and I saw the piece you did with him on your channel, and the one I did with him, it seemed like he kind of said, look, if we're involved, we're involved. If we're not, we're not. So, do you expect Eddie and Frank and Ben, etc., to be involved or not?
Well, if they've got a lot of fighters under contract, but they're on the DAZN platform, whether TKO, Turkey Al Sheikh, and Dana White decide to take it in a different direction. Nick Khan as well, obviously the CEO of WWE, that's part of TKO Group Holdings. Whether they decide to take it in a completely different direction and use completely different fighters, then that may be the case, and they may be projecting forwards with a 3 to 5 year plan. Um, because obviously, if if there's no crossover between DAZN and whatever channel they're going to use, and I think ESPN, and I think they'd be wise to use DAZN, um, TKO, we are reading, we don't know this, could get an ESPN deal for boxing, but that's what the talk is. We don't know this. No ESPN executive has come out and said that is what's happening. There's a lot of speculation at the moment because all we've got is the bare bones of an agreement. We know they're both very formidable. We know what Turkey's done in the last year and a half to boxing. He's created a revolution in boxing. He's brought by bringing people together, and now it feels like he's splitting them up again, which is fascinating. Is it divide and conquer? Is it that's what may be happening here? We don't know. He was very ruthless in what he said. We're going to crush every other organisation. Does he mean we're going to be better than? Does he mean that the revolution in boxing with one champion or one number one in each weight division or 8 weight divisions is going to transform the sport? I'm not sure it will. It will transform the perception and the optics of the sport, but we are yet to see whether a UFC model works in the modern day with boxing. Boxers may sub. We could still have 4 sanctioning body champions, or maybe 5 if they're going to create their own, whether they use TKO or they use the Ring magazine or whatever they use. They're certainly, they're within their capacity to do that. But it's personally, I find it fascinating, the whole thing. No one's to blame. No one's at fault. It's just business, as far as I see it. There's a lot of business going on.
Now, speaking of Turkey Al Sheikh, he's got two shows in May, that Cinco de Mayo weekend. Which one are you going to be at, first of all?
I don't know is the truth yet. I mean, I do like the Times Square event. If you could get on a jet, is it possible to do both? It probably is. One's on a Friday night, isn't it, in
Yep.
Times Square? That means that it's probably just about doable. Which one will I be at? I haven't chosen yet. I quite fancy the Times Square one when it was announced. And then I looked in the diary and saw Canelo the next day against William Skull in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Um, it's a fantastic and intriguing double header because it will split the media. Like I said, I favour Madison Square Garden mainly because it's going to be very historic, and I do think Canelo will deal very well with Skull, and I think it'll be a fairly one-sided fight.
Mm.
Have you picked your onion yet or not?
Probably I'm fascinated by this Times Square one, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw a little photo, I don't know if you saw on social media, where
I did.
don't know if that is what it looked like, but that'd be incredible.
Yeah, they will. I've seen bleachers there before when they've have performers there.
Mm.
It's going to take a hell of a lot of security, and I think they're going to have to close a lot of kind of like the the wayfare, if you like, around it, because they're still going to have to allow access. I imagine it's going to be about 500 seats. I imagine something like that. I've seen them create that scaffolding before, where they create bleachers, but it's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. It's going to look incredible. The visual shots are going to be extraordinary. The optics will go around the world, and it's one of the most iconic city centre venues ever. So no, it's incredible. The imagination is brilliant, and obviously the press conferences have caused a bit of a storm so far. Bill Haney's putting his sixpence worth in, attacking one of my old mates, Todd Grisham. It looks like he's very unhappy with what was said up there at the LA press conference. But Ryan Garcia is still very, very popular. And also, of course, if Tio Lopez wins and one of the other two loses, I think we got a ready-made fight there for Tio, and then maybe at welterweight. So, it's great what they've done. It's great matchmaking.
Mm. Yeah, and Nue's fighting that weekend as well, so that's going to be non-stop. The week before, obviously, Chris,
Boxing broken.
not at all.
I thought Turkey Al Sheikh fixed it already,
Mm.
or went a long way to fixing it. But maybe he's just kind of like turning the screw and going, right, no, I'm going all the way back. Whether it works or not, it's an amazing experiment. I'm waiting to see as it plays out how the De La Hoyas and how the Warrens and how the Hearns, the Arams, how these guys all react to what they plan to do. But my feeling is that there will be a little bit of crossover. Just to backtrack a little bit, I think it's inevitable that there will be a bit of crossover.
Mm. The week before all of this is Eubank and Ben. Yesterday,
Yes.
you would have seen that Chris Eubank Jr. was fined 100 grand by the board. Surprised, or is that what you expected? Do you think it would be more?
No, I mean, I've got to declare full disclosure. I called it a disgrace at the time. I didn't think he should have done it because I thought it caused problems for the second press conference in fight week, which was fascinating in itself. But he generated massive publicity for the event. It spawned thousands of headlines. But, you know, ironically, he's the guy that gets the big fine. 100 grand, maybe 1% of his 10 million purse is, I don't know if it's 10 million, but that's my guesstimate. And maybe more so given the fact he was fined 100 grand. When you think Derek Chisora was fined 25 grand for tossing table and the altercation with Dillian White at their event in Manchester, it kind of pales really. So I think he's been hard done by in many ways. But he'll brush it off. I like the fact that he's trying to bring Senior back into the event, which is cool. I like the fact that Harlem Eubank has announced himself as a potential replacement if anything happens to Chris Jr. in the build-up. I cannot see him pulling out for any reason. He's being paid so well, and he's a massive favourite in this fight. I'm looking forward to the show with the pair of them on Piers Morgan Uncensored, which is being teased at the moment. I saw that on my timeline this morning. Yeah, I mean, what a May we're going to have. What an end of April and May we're going to have for boxing. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, like you say, that Piers Morgan uncensored. So this fight is really crossing over. That's going to have huge viewers on Friday. One thing, I don't know if you've seen one of the clips that came out from that today, where Chris was asked about his relationship with his dad, and he said, look, it's become fractured because I wanted to sort of walk away from him, controlling my career, and then things, became more difficult when his brother passed away. Uh, what do you make of all of this? Because I feel like in this build-up so far, sort of comments have just been flown around about their relationship without people maybe knowing the truth. Is that maybe fair to say?
Well, I also think there's an empathy that needs to be understood here. We are talking about a relationship that, look, when Eubank Sr was very much front, middle, and centre of his son's career, where he was strutting around between rounds in his, sleeveless vest, his sleeveless waistcoat, and was very much a part of promoting his son. I think the relationship was different. You go on several years, and obviously the tutelage of Chris was passed over to Roy Jones Jr. And it was done, and I've spoken to Chris himself about it, and the son and father, and he was very happy about that. He was happy for him to be under the guidance and on the umbrella of Roy Jones Jr. But when you take into account, in a way, these are familial matters for them. My feeling is that I think it would be great to have Senior involved. I would always advocate a father and son working together if they can. But as far as it goes with what Senior has experienced with the loss and tragedy of the loss of life of one of his sons, Sebastian, and the ramifications that exist with Eubank Jr., I think we have to give them space. I think I'd love them to work together. I'd love to have Chris involved in the fight because he's the missing part of the jigsaw with Nigel Benn being in the corner with Conor Benn and being in camp. Um, but I think you have to be empathetic and both sympathetic about the situation that they're dealing with. The father here has lost one of his sons. The father has concerns about this son weight draining. He doesn't hide away. The son has expressed things about his father. I don't want to go any further than that because I think we need to give them the respect of what's going on between them, other than saying it would be great to have Senior involved. But outside that, I think to pour conjecture on their relationship is a very difficult thing because this is flesh and blood. There's clearly love here between them, and at the moment they have fissures, they have cracks in that relationship. So I just want to give both of them respect because I know them both, and I just hope that they come together in love and friendship again.
Well, Gareth, I completely agree with that. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this build-up goes. Yeah, anything you want to add? I know Nick Bull's fighting this weekend, defending his title, but other than that, maybe a bit of a quiet period until it goes crazy again.
Oh, never expect the unexpected in boxing. Never say it goes quiet. The minute you say it goes quiet is the minute you have not a minute to yourself. Look, I'm looking forward to Nick Bull fighting this weekend. Chance with TJ Doheny to make a mark and lay a marker down. Obviously, was stopped in the seventh round by Naoya Inoue. Been pressing for a Nick Bull Naoya Inoue fight for a long time at featherweight. Would love to see it. What did you want to ask?
Just some mentioning when it goes quiet, it usually means something's going on in the background. Do you think they're finalising or at least talking about Usyk Dubois? Because there's been no talk about the heavyweights in the last few weeks.
Well, when I spoke to Frank Warren about it last, they were looking to do the fight in the summer, the undisputed fight. This was a broad perspective, not we are in talks right now. Obviously, it was a few days after the event in Riyadh with Beterbiev and Bivol and Parker and Bacoli, and I was catching up. I was actually writing a big piece on Joseph Parker for Ring magazine, for the magazine itself. And I happened to speak to Frank and Spencer Brown and Parker and Andy Lee for this piece. And he was saying that, it is likely it's going to be Usyk and Dubois next. And I'd interviewed Usyk ringside for Talk Sport on the broadcast in Riyadh. And the name on Usyk's lips was Dubois. That was the guy he wanted. And Frank kind of revealed that we're looking at a summer fight. That's when we'd like to make it in June, either Riyadh or Wembley Stadium or Tottenham Hotspur, a big stadium in the UK. I think they will make it. I think that fight will happen. And it's the right fight to happen right now, even though I think Joseph Parker deserves a world title shot right now. And maybe Ajit Kabayel deserves one as well. They're with Fury, for me, they're the top 5 in the world. With maybe Joshua 6, Bacoli 7.
Yeah.
Have we just had Fabio Wardley announced against Kubrat Pulev as well?
The WBA ordered the fight, so I believe they've got a month to make it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, by the way, just to finish off, one of
Yeah.
the things that I do really agree with is that, and I think we'll see this, I think what will happen is the sanctioning bodies will just have one champion once this TKO stuff kicks in, because they're not gonna have the, it's not going to look great. I mean, I think someone was putting out there that some of the sanctioning bodies have 6 world champions in some weight divisions,
Wow.
which is, it's just ridiculous, frankly. So it does need cleaning up. I mean, we are in for several months of major news and transformations in the sport. So expect the unexpected, my friend.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we will speak very soon because there's always developments.
See you
Gareth,
in Liverpool on Saturday night.
I won't be there, but enjoy it yourself. You'll be there for Talk Sport, right?
We are. We're doing the live broadcast and really, really looking forward to it.
Should be a very good fight. Gareth, enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Always a pleasure, Jonathan.